Hello and welcome to South of King's Landing Explosion OX After Show, where we break down and discuss every episode or anything related to the Westeros universe. And at the moment, that's House of Dragon. My name is Don Blight. Joining me, Ashley Hubley.
Hey Dylan, excited to be here to talk about invading churches, sneaking into churches.
Okay. I was like, where are you going? what direction are we headed in? This week's episode, The Burning Mill, directed by Gita Vazant Patel. Synopsis was: Daemon flies to Harrenhal to begin enraging an army while Rhaenyra meets an old friend to try stopping the war from cascading. What do you think of this week's episode?
Yeah, another solid episode that was kind of, again, putting pieces into place, positioning people in different places. Some really good performances by mainly M. Darcy and Allison. But I feel like it's going to be that last 5-10 minutes that people are going to be remembering, and be like, kind of, yes, if she knows she's fucked up and that kind of thing, yeah, it was a good episode. Probably not as standoutish as it doesn't have like a standoutish moment as I feel like the last two episodes have had with the twins fighting and him murdering a baby, but still really enjoyable.
I really enjoyed it too. I feel like everyone's just going to die next episode at this point, to be honest. Like it nearly feels like that. It's like in this, it's like send the kids off, send like next episode is the one that's called A Dance of Dragons or whatever. So if you watch the next episode on thing, it's like obviously a battle's actually happening. Which for anyone that's screaming on Twitter, where's the fight? Where's the action? I'm like, holy fuck, like how do you survive the first 4 seasons of Game of Thrones? Jesus Christ. It's just a bunch of people talking most of the time. Some really standout stuff for it. I think there's, I don't feel like any, it is definitely moving people into places and stuff, but I feel like there's a lot of really interesting scenes throughout it and interesting little tidbits. So I want to start right at the start. I love the opening. And I've seen people crying about it online because, again, they did a Tyrion and skipped the fight. But I'm like, you don't need to see the fight. The point is you don't need, it's just you completely missed the point. I thought just seeing those, obviously they cast them all very young. They're meant to be teenager lords or whatever. It's just these people being like, my leader's the right one. No, your queen's a baby. All this back and forth, and then they all kill each other. And I thought that shot, the pan up from the dead body through the sword, just seeing bodies everywhere, was fantastic. So,
possibly too unrealistic that all those people killed. Although we did.
Well, they didn't say everyone died. They said nearly everyone died. So it's just that's.
As far as you could see, with bodies laid out everywhere, it seemed like
a lot of people died. That's why, later on when they're talking about it in the crown in King's Landing, it's he's trying to be like, "Oh, we won the battle," and the old mate is even like, "No, I wouldn't say we've won shit." Yeah, it's a draw. So, I thought that was a great way to start the episode.
Yeah, because and then it kind of played into an ongoing theme throughout the episode of these grudges being held for reasons that nobody actually remembers anymore.
Yeah, and later in the episode when what the fuck is Rhaenys. It's like, who remembers why the war started, and just having Rhaenyra be like, when my throne was usurped or whatever. It's like, was it then? Was it when your son died? Was it when this happened? Was it when when did the actual war begin? And then obviously get all the way through to the end when this whole episode is the last second attempt for a bunch of people not to go to war, but by the end of the episode it's like, well, it's too far. The rock is falling down the hill at this point. It's rolling. There's nothing you can do to stop it. war is happening one way or another. I really don't believe, and I'll come back to the end scene, but I really don't believe if Alicent and Rhaenyra at the end had been like hugged and made up, like nothing would have changed. Like,
No.
I don't feel like the two of them even attempting to stop the war could have stopped their kids, Daemon, all these other people, you know, and that ties back to the first scene where it's like people are just fighting without being told to.
Yeah. Any excuse to, pull their swords.
Yeah. So I thought that was, a really good through line for this episode.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's jump around a bit. Where do we? Oh fuck! It's always so hard to talk about. I say this every week. It's hard to talk about the show, but King's Landing, I guess. We get Sir Cunty Cole, or whatever you want to call him.
Yep.
You know, the fact he like side eyes all those dudes coming down the stairs, who
when he's late.
When he's late and everything. But he's just such a like. I hate him. Like I know I said this last week, but I really do hate him.
I think he is the most hated person on the show currently. I would be very surprised if somebody else is more hated.
Yeah. He's just so like everything you could hate in a person.
Yeah.
I feel like he represents really. And it's just so annoying. But yeah, so he like goes in, they go into the war council meeting, they everyone sucks, everyone's arguing over one another. Aegon's like, oh, kill them all, I'm a fucking blonde little twink. And then the Christian's like, well, we'll go in secret, we'll fucking take the castle, get some people, we'll go win the war, basically. I think that's how that boils down to, without too much more going on over there. Yeah, just we have the scene where whatever Lannister's like, oh, we didn't win the battle, and you can tell even Alicent's sort of like, these are all just idiots, just men arguing over one another. Good job, getting nowhere. Well done. Even Aemon seems that this is an episode where even Aemon doesn't do any weird outbursts, and he's even attempts to keep his brother within the confines of the castle, because of course Aegon's like, no, I'll come do battle, I'm very good at fighting too.
Yeah. Everybody's very keen to whip out their dragons on both sides.
Which I guess is like it's that everyone's trying to stop the war, and the sure sign of it's I think of like they're like, as long as no one draws dragons, we haven't gone too far. But then we've already well past that point. In fact, the dragon's already dead, so
yeah.
Now, let's not forget that. Like, a dragon did die.
It did.
So they head off, and we also meet got his name here somewhere, Gawain Hightower.
Yep.
He's a little bit of a, I don't know, first impressions are loser as well, but
used to a certain style of lifestyle, which gets them into trouble later in the episode, but not as much trouble as you would hope.
No. Also, I saw someone when I quickly looked on Twitter before, I saw someone say that the way he kissed Alicent's hand, that's and say that he looks like someone who'd fuck his sister. But I don't think that's the type of family relationship they're in. You know, like Alicent's gone into that family, but I don't think that's the family relationship that's there.
No.
But yeah, he seems like a bit of a loser, just to do whatever you want, that sort of thing. So, meet them. They all head off. The part that confused me was like in the meeting, they were like, "Oh,
Aemon's going to come with us."
Yeah, that part. So what happened there? Because they're like, yeah, Aemon will come with us, but Aemon will leave his dragon here, and Aegon don't come with us also, and then. I'm just very confused.
I guess they just changed their minds. He stayed because he shows up at the brothel later.
Or was he supposed to go with his brother, but then because his like Aegon changes his mind, then he ends up staying with him as well?
I don't know.
We also get Alicent's scene with Helena, where Helena's always weird, but she says she forgives Alicent for
fucking Christian Cole instead of protecting his grandchild.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's literally it's exactly what I believe the forgiveness is for. But yeah, anything else happened in King's Landing?
And we do get the Aegon scene with he's about to fly out, wearing Aegon the Conqueror's armor.
Yeah.
And Laris kind of manipulates him into thinking he should stay behind. Otherwise, people will think that he left his mother and brother in charge of things.
Yeah. He's like, oh, the rumors have been spreading. I just like the fact that someone can literally walk in and be like, well, rumors are spreading that you're leaving. And you go, it's like Alicent's, your Queen Mother's going to run everything. And he goes, well, that's it. Not leaving.
Can't have that. Yeah.
Can't have that.
Yeah.
Even though in my mind, I'm like, the second ago, your thing was being told that like you wanted to fly out to prove you're so
strong,
manly and strong as everyone else that you can join the fight. But then even more important is to protect your... Don't let people think your mother's running the show. Anyway.
Yeah. It's hard to...
Yeah, and then they go to the brothel and everything.
Yeah, and then him also giving Laris the position of Master of Whispers. Effectively. And then also the joke of... he's clearly installed all his friends as Kingsguard.
Yep. All these younger people he's grown up with, I guess. People that he doesn't...
And then he's like, you all swore a vow of chastity.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, of course, my lord. Yeah. Oh, he's not joking.
Yeah. And then they go to a brothel.
Which we do get a weird scene with old mate being like, I'm a fucking brother's half son's uncle's sister's brother related to the true queen. What was that about?
I have no idea. Just a guy, like, trying to big up himself, I guess, maybe. Like, make people think he's more important than he actually is. You would think. Just the way he was working himself around that room.
It was like he knew everyone.
Yeah.
But I'm just confused if there's supposed to be a bigger implication to that or not. It's the part that confuses me.
Who knows?
Yeah, so then on the other side of stuff, I guess, over at Dragonstone, so Rhaenyra she has several meetings, I guess, throughout this episode with her council, and the continuing thing is they just want to, like, go to war, go to war, go to war.
Stick your dragon somewhere and burn them all alive, please.
Yeah. And then even when she says no several times, then it's, well, how about you go into hiding and we'll pretend you're still here and we'll just run war for you and just, like, stick your dragon somewhere. And she's like, that's treason. Yeah. She really, and, again, obviously Team Black all the way, as we're saying, but you really cannot say that she didn't try, I feel.
She's really trying to avoid mass casualties.
Really trying. And you can tell that, and it sort of helps. I really like the relationship between Rhaenys and Rhaenyra in that sometimes I feel like Rhaenys didn't fully maybe think that Rhaenyra was smart enough or mature enough to do this, but the knowing looks this episode and the way she, like, sort of backs Rhaenyra, I feel like, especially going forward from now, like when she comes back, it'll be like, yeah, you can't say I didn't try, Rhaenys. Like, and I feel like she has to, because Rhaenys is the only one being like, and I'm sure if Rhaenyra had been like, yes, it's war, Like she's in it. You can tell. Like Rhaenys is in it for the long haul. She's going to die if she needs to. Whatever, you know. She's aware of what like following her queen. You know, but she really wants. You can tell she really wants Rhaenyra to try. And she has that line about, you know, I don't know, a battle between families is looked down upon by the gods, and you know, or whatever she says early in the episode, I think. So, you know, just basically hints that it's not going to go well if it happens. If you go to war, you know it's not going to go well. You know everyone's going to die, and the gods will probably hate you.
Yeah.
So how about we try and not do that? And she does try. Obviously, they bury the twins from last week's episode, which I thought was good too, because instead of just being like, this motherfucker, you know, again, Rhaenyra's like, he was only following his duty, you know.
I mean, I'm betting they got them mixed up again. I forgot which was which.
Well, I didn't realize. I thought it was the same dude playing both, but then I saw a behind the scenes video. It's actually real twins. So
yeah, which is easier.
That's a lot easier, because I was like, man, they're doing this like double shooting thing where they have to, but no, real twins definitely a lot easier. So I thought that was good. But again, another scene where it's like, she
doesn't hold terrible
and,
grudges.
Yeah, she just has honor and understanding and whatnot. But this and what I mean when it feels like everyone's going to die next week is because she literally just sends off all her kids, basically.
Yeah, so she gets Baela, who is the youngest of Daemon's two daughters.
Yeah.
To take Jacaerys and then her two sons with Daemon.
Yeah.
To wherever Daemon and their mother was living previously.
Yeah.
Out of Westeros.
Yeah.
With dragon eggs and baby dragons.
Yeah, and apparently, so it's apparently been confirmed that the eggs are Daenerys's.
That makes sense.
So that's apparently on some interview or something post episode release, the showrunner said that yes, they're Daenerys's eggs that she later gets. So that's why they have a scene about like protect our future, because I mean, none of us have read the books, but like we know there's not dragons in the future. So like, and going into this show, I just expect everyone to die. I expect all the dragons to die. I just expect mass. There's no winner, right? Yeah. I don't like. I'm on side black, well knowing that I expect everyone to die.
You're looking for a moral victory more than an actual victory?
Yes, because we know that they can't actually be a victor, because, and this is I'm not going to
will be a victor.
Yeah, but I'm not like it's like I don't think this is like a spoiler again because I haven't like read the book or anything like that. But like Rhaenyra can't actually win. We know that she can't actually win. There's no dragons in the future. There's no like the line of Targaryen is when we see them down the line. They're nearly obliterated. You know, Targaryens are basically lost. These eggs are hidden. You know what I mean? Like it's. I don't want to say anything that's like, holy shit, I never put the pieces together, but nothing good comes out of this show, I don't feel.
Very few happy endings.
I really don't think so. Yeah, so she sets off all her kids. I truly believe that I doubt she'll see them ever again, to be honest. I feel like that was the last time she sees her kids. Jacaerys stays there because, you know, he's got a dragon. I can't remember what's the other girl's name?
Baela?
Yeah. She stays there. Because she flies a dragon later, where she spots.
I thought the younger daughter was going to get the dragon that was lonely at the start of the episode. It's like,
yeah.
You know,
I don't know what that. Yeah. Throw like wine with the white worm, which played out exactly, I think, like
as we predicted
last week. Yeah. It was just like, well, she'll just get a position on her council or whatever. So. Which makes sense. But I like the way she positioned it of, well, I wanted to go, but then the fact you chose to let me go, which I really didn't expect, makes me want to actually rather be on your side than back somewhere else.
Fuck the pie towers.
Pretty much, yeah. Fuck the hotel. Damon, before we get to the end of the episode, I guess. So Damon goes to
England.
To England?
It's always around in disrepair.
That's true. Where is it? I'm trying to find
Harrenhal.
Harrenhal, that's it, yeah. So he goes to Harrenhal. It's a shit show. It's this massive castle that is absolutely falling apart. But he wants to take it because it's like the whole thing is everyone wants to take it because it's so well positioned, I guess, between both.
Well, it's well positioned. It is actually the biggest castle.
Castle, full stop.
He's just it hasn't been taken care of since his ancestors set alight.
Yeah, so it's like leaking everywhere. It's falling apart. Yeah, it's like. But then it makes me go, well, I know it's really big on the outside, but if you take into account like the deprecation of this thing, is it technically still the biggest? You take into account how many holes it has.
Is it really the biggest? Is there a second like it could
biggest
crumble in any second?
Yeah, is there a second biggest castle that's fully formed?
Yeah,
because maybe that's technically
now less of a health risk.
Yeah. I nearly feel like that maybe should now be the biggest. But yeah, Damon goes there. He lands his dragon. He's like scares some people. He creeps around the castle for a bit with his sword. Finds one dude, punches him in the face. Walks in and says, "Hey, I'm here to take this." And whatever is like, "Yeah, all right, sure." Yep, I pledge allegiance to Rhaenyra until the old gods, new gods. Cool. Would you like some food? We have no wine.
Yep. It was way easier than you thought it would be.
Crazy.
And I love how they point out, obviously, I guess they're meant to be beholden to Larys Strong. And they're like, yeah, we don't like that guy. The death of his father and brother, super suspect. We struggle to set any fires anywhere. And somehow they all die in a fire. So weird.
Yeah. Which I'm glad when people just point out, because, obviously when you're watching the show, it's sometimes annoying that you're like, these motherfuckers all died together, burned down. Like, can someone not question how sus this is, And they have someone boil it down and be like, yeah, that's very sus. I was like, okay, good. Now, the interesting thing is obviously there's a scene later. So we cut away for a bit and then we come back and then Damon's wandering around his room or whatever. And he's still not ultra trusting of anyone there because he has swords through doors and whatever else. He comes out. Now, he's obviously, maybe he doesn't come out. Actually, let's be real. Is this all happening in his mind? Is he actually wandering around in a dream? I don't know. I believe it comes down to Gail Rankin's character, who the only reason I'm assuming so she's the weird person wandering around in the background and I recognized her face straight away. And I was like, you're an actor of substance, so you must be an important character. Because she is from Glow, where she played the she-wolf wrestler, and she was also one of the main characters of Men. Anyway, that's the two things off the top of my head, of the things as well, I'm sure. But she's the woman that they cut to a couple times in the background. That I'm assuming it's her because sus. So I don't know, she's a witch or some shit, I guess. They're a thing that exists. That conclusion. Yeah, like, well, why not? That's
Clearly
a thing
has to be a witch.
They exist in this universe, right? So I'm assuming she's a witch, and she's done this to Damon Order because he wanders out, sees young Rhaenyra returning. What's the actress name again? Millie Alcott. Back for, she's like got paid for half an hour's work, I think.
Yeah, probably. Listen, we want you to come back. And what we want you to do is stitch a beheaded child's body, head back onto their body.
Yeah, no questions.
Yeah.
Also, no, we can't tell you what's happening in the season because you might leak it. Anyway, Can you just sit down? But I think it's super important to, obviously the fact that he's seeing her, not the older Rhaenyra, different. I don't know how you want to read into it. It is because the scene's supposed to be his fears, right? I don't because she gets told. Sorry, he gets told by Witch Lady is now what I'm calling her. That he's going to die here. Which, you know what? I'm going to choose to believe he does die there. Whether or not that's tomorrow or a season from now, I'm going to take that as verbatim. He will die there. But, and then the fact he sees young Rhaenyra, because young Rhaenyra is the one who took his, or what he believed was his throne, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know? Not older Rhaenyra, which he's come to terms with somewhat and is sort of riding coattails to get the throne back through. But young Rhaenyra is the one who was promised the throne and said to him by his brother and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I think that's what that's supposed to mean, but I don't know if it's supposed to mean much more than that. Did you make anything more of the...
No, I thought it was just a weird dream sequence, So.
I mean, it could be that. There's no context, no reason for it. It is just a weird dream sequence.
Maybe he finally ate some of the peas and they're filled with hallucinogens.
Could be true. Could be very true.
Got no poison, but we got drugs.
Yeah, we got drugs. Which lady put him in?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure she has a real name, but I don't care. It's Witch Lady.
Alice Rivers, apparently.
Sure.
Alice. Yeah.
That's a character that means
nothing to
me. I don't need to know because Google will only tell me things I don't need to know.
Mm-hmm.
What do we got left? Ending. How good was the ending? So we get the last scene of the show, the last 10 minutes, as you said, it's the thing that everyone's going to basically remember, and rightfully so. It is Rhaenyra goes, one last time, I'm going to attempt to stop this war. Finally reads the letter from Alicent following the death of Rhaenyra's son, loved one whose name I've already forgot because he's been dead for a whole season, so who cares at this point? But you can't read anything because it's written in gibberish, aka fucked cursive or something, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But gives her enough reason to go believe that she might be able to actually talk to Alicent between what Rhaenys had said and then Alicent's actual letter, I guess. So she sneaks into the castle, which, by the way, King's Landing, super easy to fucking see. Turns out, piss easy to sneak into. And I like this recurring theme of, hey, if you're a lord or a high person, but you are like Clark Kent and you just change your clothes, no one recognizes you. It's pretty funny. I appreciate it. No one knows the kings, queens, anything faces. They just know them if they're surrounded by other people and they're in rich people clothes. Otherwise, it's okay. So she sneaks up in I don't know what you want to call it. A
nun outfit.
Let's call it that. Sure. Nun outfit. And she goes and talks to Alicent in the church. And there's a fantastic scene that I don't think anyone could have. Well, I don't know if it's in the book or not, so I don't want to say that. But anyone just watching the show, myself included, would have thought we would actually get another scene where you'll get Emma Darcy and Olivia Cook in a scene together, talking, not
trying to stab each other.
Trying to stab each other.
Which there is a light, bit of almost stabbing at the start. Which I enjoyed her calling out and saying, "Oh, I'm starting this badly."
Yeah, that was pretty funny. Like, it's, So then what'll happen? Well, I'll kill you. You call the people. They'll take me away. They'll probably kill me, but not before I stab you. And then what? I'm starting this very badly. Yeah.
How's your
starting on? Yeah, it's like I just wants to talk about peace and stuff, and it's just like a whole sentence of, well, everyone will die.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we finally get, I think, the scene that has been highly necessary for this show. To just sort of, well, not highly necessary for Rhaenyra, which is, I guess, the point. But it was also really good to just actually see them, because after everything that happened, when he said he changed it, he said Aegon, they never get a chance to actually ever talk about it. And I think
she never found out how her father died or anything, So
no, she just fucking had to evacuate. It was like the end of the, so just literally. Yeah, that's why usurped the throne and everything. So, Yeah, I thought it was really just a well-performed scene between the two of them, just talking backwards and forth for a bit, and then the realization on Rhaenyra's face when Alicent, because I'm sitting here watching it going, like she's, Alicent's like, well, she said, Amos, and literally I'm sitting there going, ask, what did he say? Like in my head, I'm just saying, what did he say? What is it? And then when Rhaenyra turns and goes, what do you say? I'm like, thank you. Like, fucking ask the fucking question, please, because I want to hear what this bitch says, And then the fact when she's like, we said Aegon, and he was hard to understand, and, said about the Promised King, and just
Princess Promised,
instant response was fantastic.
Yeah.
I think what follows is I am at least taking it as Alicent doesn't think that Rhaenyra is bullshitting when she says that this is the story and all this sort of stuff and, like whatever. I think Alicent at that point goes, it does. She's just like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I think she realized in that moment that, yes, maybe she did get these things mixed up.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she's on the opinion that we're too far down the road. That
it really doesn't. It really doesn't matter.
There's no stopping this.
Yeah. But the important thing, none of this really matters for Alicent, right? She's walking out of the room. I don't think anything she's doing is changing. She's already, I think, possibly had thoughts about, did she do the right thing? Did she mishear? All this sorts of things. And just had to choose to like lie and tell herself, no, all this sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Rhaenyra finally has
justification.
That look on her face in the last 2 seconds, the subtle locking of the jaw and solidifying her face. So it was just, all right, it's war then. Because now it's not, oh, maybe I can win it. It's like, well, now she knows that the whole 110%, and she already believed 100% that her throne was taken from her unjustly. Now she has, no, my throne was taken from me unjustly. I don't know why now. She has even more, so it's just solidified it then.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was, really, really good.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on this scene or this week's episode?
No, just, it was great to see those two in the scene together again. It was a great 5-10 minutes to cap off another long episode of House of the Dragon.
And so next week, the a Dance of Dragons, apparently. Dragons will.
Oh, that's what we didn't talk about. Old Kristen Cole and the Gwyn dude in the field, and Layla comes across. Managed to see a dragon for really, really high up, and they only just managed to get out. Again, just set them on fire. You can just leave that. You can.
Well, I mean, they try to be like, well, he said not to, sort of. Or no, sorry, Rhaenyra said not to. Like, even what she did, we discover is apparently too much beyond what Rhaenyra said.
It's like, I could tell it was Christian Cole. He's got that.
Yeah. So how far?
Arsehole,
well, I wasn't that
far. Arsehole energy was just exuding off.
So looking for next week. It's once again directed by Alan Taylor, who did the premiere episode, but also he
has a track record of doing big episodes.
Big episodes is the thing for him. So that's a sign. I'll take it and run with it. Let's know your thoughts. If you've got any, explosionhour.com/Twitter, explosionhour.com/Discord. Sounds like a good time over there. And until then, we'll be back next week to discuss the I keep calling it the dance, but I mean whatever. A dance, the dance of dragons. Sounds like it's going to be a horrible time for all of us. But Dance of Dragons Part 1. Sounds like a horrible time. Looking forward to it. Goodbye.